Place. This is, of course, the Life Be Lifing podcast. Yeah. And you are hosted by none other than your favorite coach's favorite coach, your favorite fat freckle man, the big dog himself. Who? Big Nah, Coach Nah. And I'm here with you guys tonight on another Thursday night. Great to see you guys. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. And I mean that in the very literal sense of, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow's never promised. Today wasn't even promised. The next 5 minutes not even promised. So just having the opportunity to, be here again on another day. I ain't been having the best week, but I got another chance. I got another day. I got another minute. So we make it count, man. You know what I'm saying? The games don't always go the way you want. But as long as you get an opportunity to play, ball up top, check up, play again. And play it like it's your last. You heard? Play it like it's your last. Every day could be your last. Live every day like it's your last. You heard me? That being said, I hope everybody is good. Of course, I got to do the checks on the YouTube to make sure that the stream is functional. Never can be too careful, be on here recording for, 30, 40, 50 minutes. Next thing you know, I was literally just talking to myself because the life was not able to see it. Okay, we are live. Let me go ahead and make sure to share the feed to the socials. To the socials, you heard? Um, so let me start y'all out with my socials acting weird. Let me start y'all out with my life be life and moment of the week. Without giving a whole lot of details, right? You ever okay. Because I had a couple moments this week, so I'm kind of trying to choose from the right one that makes the most sense. Um, because I had a plus one, right? Let's start from the positive one. My life be life and moment for the week. I got to on Monday, was it? Yeah, Monday. Um, I had the opportunity. Um, let's be honest, all right. A lot of us that had our parents, uncles, grandmas, aunties, you know what I'm saying. Kids, the kid that doesn't live with you usually reaches out to you when they want something. Let's just keep it a stat, right? So, um, my oldest niece from my wife's side, she's no different. She hits me up when she wants something. Either she wants me to take her to go get something done, uh, she wants to drive the car, whatever it is. So she wanted to go watch her friend play in the Catholic League playoffs, and she needed a ride there and back. So she also asked if I would like to, stay and watch the game with her. So I'm like, of course, we haven't been to a sporting event together yet, so that gave me the opportunity to, say I took my, I took my niece to a sporting event, right? I've already taken my nephew Noah last year. Me and my brother, we went last year. I got to take my mom. It was actually the first time taking my mom. I got to take both of them to a Sixers game last year. Um, and that was actually the first time I've actually taken my mom to a sporting event. Like we've gone to sporting events together. I lie. That's my second time taking her to a sporting event. The first time I took her was back in the days of E1 during the E1 mixtape tour. I was actually supposed to have gone with my then girlfriend, now wife. Um, but she wasn't going to be able to make it. Um, she was still in school. We were all still, she was still in college at the time, so she wasn't going to be able to make it home in time. Plus, she got tickets to see, I think, DMX, Luda, State Prop. It was a great concert they was having over there at State College. So she stayed up there, went to that concert, and I took my mom to the A1 game. And anyway, I'm getting off course. Um, so I had the opportunity to take her to the game. We go, we watch the game or whatever, and um the moment came where it's kind of like we all know how it is when you go to these live events, how the concessions are, right? So I'm not trying to have her worry about it. I ain't balling by no means or whatever, right? If anybody's the broke friend, it's me. Um, and I'm not saying that from a standpoint of, I'm just fiscally irresponsible or I'm begging for handouts or whatever. I mean, you hit my cash app with whatever you want. I ain't gonna ask you. Hold on. I don't know where that weird sound just came from. My apologies. Is this better? Is this better? I feel like my mic might have been too loud, and that's why the feedback was hitting. Hopefully, this is better. Is this better, y'all? All right. Um, but we know the prices are like it's up there. You know what I'm saying? So I went to I just told her to get what she want. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time me taking you out. Like I said, to a sporting event. Get what you want. Um, Now, I wasn't trying to ball out or nothing. You feel me? Like again, I wasn't trying to impress her or, seem like I'm, Uncle Moneybags or nothing like that. But at the same time, I didn't want her stressing about how much was spent um for the game. So, or for the concessions that we was gonna have while watching the game. So everything was cool. She got what she wanted. Double check, see if she wanted anything else. She said no. Okay, cool. I was getting some for myself. The price come up on a thing, and for some odd reason, bull all of a sudden decide to flip it because I guess you could flip it to where somebody could see it. You could flip it. All of a sudden, he decided to flip it the other way, and she sees it. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's more than tickets. It's almost twice however much we paid for the tickets." And it's like, dog, come on, man. I was trying to keep things peace. I was trying to keep things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't trying to make no big deal of this. And I didn't want her feeling like, because I was that kid too. I think that's truly what it is. I was that kid too. The kid who didn't want you spending what seemed like a whole bunch of money on me. Um, like that was my insecurity. Like I felt like, somebody spending $50 to take me somewhere was like them spending too much money. They could do something better with their money or whatever. Um, and then I would kind of feel away. So I didn't ask for stuff. Like if I go over your house, I'm not asking for nothing. I probably never eat at your house or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like if you can't figure it out, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit there and bother you about grub at your grip. Like I was that young boy, so you know what I'm saying? I'm not I wouldn't have been surprised if, she was operating in a similar vein. So I keep getting that feedback, so I keep pausing because I'm kind of like, well, what's that about? And also I'm trying to figure out why my social's looking weird when I'm trying to share the link. I don't know what's going on tonight. Things just getting weird. Things just getting weird. Um, I truly apologize for the distraction, y'all. Um, so yeah, that was kind of weird, but nonetheless, we enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed the game. Um, the concessions didn't even smack like that. I think that's my issue. The concessions didn't even smack like that. Like you hungry, you eating it or whatever. But outside of that, them joints didn't even smack like that. That being said, we had a good time. Her friend's team won the game. It was for those watching in Philly, it was the the girls game between Newman Goretti and Cardinal O'Hara won. It was never in doubt. The game was never close. Like the game was never close. I think 4-4 was the closest the game ever was, and it was clear that Newman Goretti wasn't going to be able to get it together. And as a coach, I was just kind of frustrated. But I don't want to sound like I'm casting any aspersions on the coaching staff or anything like that. I seen some stuff I didn't really like, but hey, I haven't watched this team all year. This is my first time watching them. I'm gonna go ahead and keep my comments to myself respectfully. Okay, now my social's starting to act right, so maybe now I can post and we'll get the rest of the lifers in here once I'm able to share. My other life be life moment was in a couple of different places. I felt I was made to feel unappreciated and taken for granted. And I don't want to say I felt it like this moment hit me that day, but I kind of realized, that a couple of folks took what a brother was doing for granted. You feel me? Um and it was kind of rough for me to deal with in the moment because I thought that person, or I thought those people, I should say, I thought those people understood why my assistance wasn't like not only not owed to them, but the level of assistance was like above and beyond. But I still did it, not expecting anything back. Still don't. Still don't. Just want at the most want you to be grateful. But excuse me. But in the discussion with all three of these different parties, like they got to kind of like asking, well, what is it you really think you do to help out in this situation? And I'm like, oh wow. Oh wow. 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 That's how you feel? Like, and it sucks feeling like you help make somebody's life easier and they just bypass it. That sucks. And because of my fondness for, and again, these three different situations, because of my fondness for these folks, individually, and the bond I have with each one of them individually, it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So that pretty much sucked. And I will also lead into um another moment that kind of reinforced, right, because I had a couple of decisions about what I was going to go with tonight, but this moment kind of reinforced me going with this particular topic tonight. I think it was today, Thursday, so let's say Tuesday for sure. Yeah, Tuesday for sure. By the end of Tuesday, I don't want to say I was depressed, but I was really down because for the first time in a long time, social media had just disgusted me with what I was seeing um, on my feed and kind of like the random stuff that just came up that particular day. And normally I just shake bad opinions off to bad opinions. Comments I don't like to bad comments. You keep on scrolling, what I mean? Keep on scrolling. Like Dory and Finding Nemo. Keep on swimming, keep on swimming, keep on swimming, swimming, swimming. And that's typically how I am with stuff that I don't like. I'm not like if I jump in the comments of any post on any form of social media, it's not like, oh, I'm so angry, I gotta say something. Actually, it's me trying to, as a podcaster, you know what I'm saying, put myself somewhere to, create engagement. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm commenting because I want to come back to this post to use it as content later on, it's absolutely intentional. But some of the stuff I was seeing, it was just kind of like I was so disgusted with the commentator. It was no point. It was absolutely no point in commenting. Like, what would I say to people who think like that, right? Like, to people who live in the suburbs and blame all the problems with the suburbs with people from the inner city moving to the suburbs. What can I reasonably say to you past a certain point, or that isn't already being said, more than likely, or that hasn't already been said? Like, you got these people out in certain suburbs who talk like everything was cool until, of course, the black people from the inner city moved out to the suburbs. And where they used to say, there goes the neighborhood, right? Like, they acting like it's that type time. It's like, all right, so maybe, just maybe, certain things you didn't see the same way, right? Um, because things happen, right? You have former wannabe tough guys, and even legitimately former tough guys, or gangsters, or criminals, or whatever you want to call them, who move from the inner city to the suburbs because they tired of that life. They want to go someplace else. They want a fresh start. They want a place where they could play by new rules. You got the fake tough guys that couldn't cut it in the city. They couldn't cut it in the inner city. They couldn't get to the bag. They couldn't get no money. They wasn't, seen as fly, dangerous, whatever it is they wanted to be in the city where everything already is established. They couldn't make it. So they went out to the suburbs where nobody knows your name, where things are considerably, where certain, I guess, let's say, industries are, less complicated, less convoluted. The competition ain't the same way it was in the inner city. So you go out there to, I guess, try to, be big dog, and be the person you couldn't be in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Like, so we can't pretend like stuff like that doesn't happen, right? But you're not going to sit here and blame all the societal ills and the problems with the neighborhood, the problems with the township governments, and the lack of resources, or whatever, or even a raise in violence. You're not going to sit there and blame that because, oh yeah, well, that's all because the inner city. Man, y'all had meth heads, okay, bona fide drug addicts and drug dealers. Meth don't come out of nowhere. Okay. Y'all had people making meth labs in their home to sell to each other. Like, y'all had people who have lived in these counties all their life, and you look at them right now, and we all know what meth heads look like. We all know what you on, where you not on just, the everyday drug. You on that, as we say, that hard pause, but you on that hard because we know what you look like when you on that shit. Okay. After you done got off, no matter how many years you done got off it, we know what it looks like when somebody used to be on that shit. Okay. All these teeth you never got back from methadone treatments, knock it off. There's a bunch of y'all that was out here. Homelessness didn't happen because people from inner city moved out to the suburbs. Homelessness happened for the reasons homelessness happened, right? Like, so, seeing comments like that, um and stuff like that, just kind of like, it's like, all right, man, like, when is it going to stop? Stuff like that. Of course, seeing the far left and the far right, the people who all of a sudden y'all poli sci majors, the people who all of a sudden y'all freedom fighters, the people who The people who are none of these things but think that it's funny and or cool to make fun of everybody who is passionate about politics. If you aren't passionate about politics and you just chalking it up and you're like, hey man, my thing is making it through the day and controlling what I can control. Cool, cool. I dig that. But making fun of people who are upset because of policy changes, rule changes, law changes, that doesn't make you cooler. It doesn't make you cooler than them. It doesn't. It doesn't. It may mean because you don't have an opinion either way, it may mean you really just don't stand for shit. Maybe you're just not like that. Like maybe you just, it's not so much that you're go with the flow, but maybe you just really don't stand for anything. And it's because you don't really have your feet rooted in important things in life. It's easier to make fun of other people, right? It's easier to make everybody else sound like uh they're panicking and acting like the sky is falling while you pretend to be laissez-faire, but just not so much again that you're nonchalant and that you're cool and collected. It's that you really don't stand for nothing. um Welcome to the chat, Tommy girl. No, it makes you an elitist. Okay, that too, that too, that too. That's also a possibility. That's also a possibility. Let's see. Where else was I going with that? So yeah, stuff like that where it's kind of like, uh those comments. And then kind of getting to the point of this conversation, which admittedly tonight, Taya was good. Got Taya the curator in the building. Shout out to Taya, Dana, Star, and Sunny on their very first episode of their new podcast that aired on Valentine's Day. Main character energy. Shout out to my girls, man. Shout out to them. If you have not already followed them on Instagram, look them up. If you have not already subscribed and watched the episode on YouTube, look it up. Main character energy podcast. Look my ladies up. It's a great episode, about like 30 minutes or so. They've already recorded episode 2, so be on the lookout for that. And I will be making an appearance. I will be making an appearance on Main Character Energy in the near future. All right. I ain't gonna give y'all too much of the details. You know what I'm saying? We got to do the tease. Um, but look for Main Character Energy. Uh, Okay, beat me to it. That's why she's the curator under the Know It All Network. Shout out to Mr. Know It All. Shout out to Mr. Know It All. And shout out to, again, my podcast link, Philly Pears, the ladies of Main Character Energy. I love that. I love that they got their own podcast. Um, but as I was saying, um, the gender war thing usually just kind of makes me like scratch my head a little bit when I see how committed some people are to it. But I will say this day in particular, it actually had me a little bit uh had me a little bit, downhearted just from the fact of like some of these posts was like more vicious than normal. Like like people really was on some type time, like clearly Valentine's Day didn't go the way y'all wanted. Clearly it didn't go the way y'all wanted it to. And I don't think that's a good enough reason to just start, trying to tear into the opposite sex. I mean, but hey, that's kind of what happened. Um with the stuff that I was seeing, and like I said, it was just kind of wild stuff. Like just like it's like you just woke up in the morning. You just woke up in the morning and decided, before you brush your teeth, before you make your breakfast, you was gonna have an extra helping of misandry or misogyny. Like it's crazy to move like that. Like you making sure you're making it a point to contribute that to the internet, to the society, to the world that we live in. Like that's it's just ill. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. But then some of the stuff that I was seeing too, right, was kind of like like I said, it was OD. Some of the stuff that I was seeing, like I didn't even probably should have stay saved it so I could, read certain stuff out in particular. But it was just kind of like, yo, what is it? What is it today that has y'all so riled up? Like Tuesday in particular, I'll be honest, I saw it more from women than from men. Just like wild misandrous commentary and jokes, like you know, making fun of men's mental health, um, joking about the fact that black men commit suicide, excuse me, that black men unalive themselves at higher rates. Like I saw one that was kind of like, well, if like somebody was, I guess, mentioning it, and it was like, yeah, well, you know, if I couldn't get no women, I wasn't getting. If I couldn't get, if I couldn't get a baddie, if I was underpaid by, if I was paid less than the girls I like, and something about balding, right? It was like if that wasn't the case, then maybe I wouldn't want to be. Oh, and if my thing was little, I wouldn't want to be here anymore either. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, since when did we do that? Whoa. Some girl, pretty much her whole page is dedicated to it. Like in her bio, it's like angry black woman, man hater, like uh women trying to convince other women that you know anything that a man can do for them, uh anything that a man can do for them, if they work hard enough and just buy the right toys, they'll never need a man for. Like, and it's just kind of like, what y'all on? What are y'all on? My algorithm never shows me these things. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about that? And that's why I said it hit me Tuesday like a ton of bricks. Because there's a couple of people who I see post stuff that kind of feeds into the gender wars, right? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like when they post those kind of things. I might like the people, but I don't like what they post. So I do what I typically do anytime I see somebody who I like post something I don't like. I just hit the X button, right? Um, and usually it's not even that big a deal. It's just like, oh, they drawing, they on some nut stuff. You know what I'm saying? Keep it scrolling. Um, I hate that, especially during the beautiful Black History Month. And that was the thing that I was seeing too, like the specific targeting of black men, a lot more of the, you know, black men aren't worth dating, black men aren't worth marrying, you know, deliver my sisters from the need to repopulate with black men. Um, Somebody posted something from Amanda Seals where I guess a guy was trying to make he was trying to make the point of, he was trying to make the point about some point about black people, and she must have questioned, you know, do these black people, when they was doing this research about black people, what kind of black people did they count? Does the black people who are kids of black men who make kids with white women, are they counting them as black? And I'm like, what y'all on, man? Seriously, what y'all on? My friend Tommy and I, sometimes we have conversations, and we truly do believe that it is an agenda, an actual agenda, not just conspiracy theory. There's an actual agenda to keep the black man and woman apart. You can never convince me otherwise. Um, but it doesn't have to be perpetuated by the man anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that they like to, I literally told Tommy, like, listen, if you don't hear back from me today, because we send each other memes. My friend Crystal sends me a bunch of memes. Uh, you know, my sponsor Keisha send me memes here and there. We send each other best friend memes every week. Um, and I was like, both sides are not willing to call the truce. No, no, no. Chill, chill. I got it. I got it. I got it, Tommy. I got it. Trust me. Wait and see. Let me work. Let me work. Let me work. Um, but I was telling her, like, if you don't hear from me today, I have to just detach from social media, because like how Taya says she don't even see those things on her algorithm. I never see that much, just like top tier misandry on my algorithm. Again, it may be a person or two who I know typically. Like there's this one girl who always talks about not being male centered. And I laugh because every week you're talking about men. Like your most famous or your most popular post, your most liked posts have to do with men. Period. Period. Just it's just a fact. Track her stats down, you could see the ones where she gets the likes and the loves and the comments the most are about men. So honestly, for you to be so not male centered or against being male centered, your content is male centered, man. Like whatever. Um, and I've already spoke before on how I think it's weird. I've said it on Facebook, but I think it's extremely weird. It's extremely weird to see women who are allegedly in happy and fulfilled relationships who make it their business to make anti-men content. I think it's weird because automatically I start looking at the dude like he's a bitch. Because excuse me, I will make the exception. I will make the exception for people who make this comment, who make this kind of content and get paid for it. Now, is it cool to get paid for fueling the gender wars? No, but at least I completely understand that your motives are incentive based, that your motives are about your bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So if hating men gets you paid as a female, I get why you would, or acting like you hate men gets you paid. I completely understand why you would do it. Morals and ethics be damned. I completely understand that's your bottom line that you're talking about. Just like there's people who post things that they don't believe. Like even when it comes to, racism and stuff like that, there's people who post racist takes that they don't believe simply because it's gonna get them paid. You know what I'm saying? I see it in sports. People make the terrible sports takes, terrible basketball takes, but it's what's gonna drive traffic their way because people come to argue with them. That puts a light on them and they get paid to be bad at talking about basketball. So at the end of that, I get it. If you are a woman who is in love with her man, who is happy with her man, but is getting paid to talk shit about men, I get how you end up in that situation. What I don't get is the people who do it for free. I don't get it. I completely don't get that dynamic. Like how you look at your girl and be like, damn, she's a bona fide man hater. Ain't you a man? Like I've said it before. It's like the example of I'll give this example again. It's like if I said I hate fat people, right? Never mind the fact that I'm fat. Never mind that. Just think. I'll maybe I'll post a picture of Skinny Nari and say that was the one that I want y'all to imagine. So imagine me skinny, right? Imagine me at only 200 pounds. Um, saying that I hate fat women, right? I hate fat women. I hate fat women. I would never date a fat girl. Oh my God, fat girls make me sick. Da 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 da. Like every week, Big Dog gonna put up some anti-fat woman post. And imagine you being fat and being my best friend, or being one of my best friends, or being my girl, being my wife. You mean to tell me that nothing in you would say, all right, like that shit can't all be jokes, yo. Does he really fuck with me like that? Like you can't tell me the same women who say that they are insecure about dudes liking IG girls pictures, following girls on IG, watching porn, having a favorite porn actress. You cannot tell me these same types of women, you cannot tell me that these women who feel insecure because they feel like he's fantasizing over something they'll never be, something they can't compare to, also think it makes sense to make sure that it's your daily or weekly occurrence to talk down and talk bad about men, and then you be a man and think that you're completely exempt. How goofy are you, sir? How arrogant are you, or how naive are you to think that you are truly the exception to the rule? And how delusional are those women to pretend as if he is the exemption to the rule? It's just as bad as if you're black and a white person talks all this shit about black people. They're mad racist and they post racist posts every week. And then when you're like, damn, that's how you feel about, no, not you. You're one of the good ones. You're one of the good ones. I'm not talking about you. Because let me tell you, I said it before and I'll say it again. One of the good ones is one of the nastiest pieces of work, one of the most filthy backhanded compliments you could ever receive. Never let somebody play in your face and call you one of the good ones. Man, woman, however you identify, fat, skinny, buff, intelligent, stupid, whatever your heritage, American, Russian, Greek, Trini, Jamaican, Asian, never let somebody get away with calling you one of the good ones. Because the truth of the matter is, when somebody says that about you, they just haven't found the thing you have in common with everybody else. Because once they do, once they find out you have that in common with these other people that fit your dynamic, it has to tell you that they can't be that big on you. It has to tell you that because they know it. They might not let you know they know it, but they know it. So, what is all this conversation going towards? Honestly, yo, I don't know. I don't know. Because I feel like I feel like honestly, this is one of those conversations that I don't have a solution for. Um, I just want to share it with with the lifers. Y'all take from it what y'all want. Um, and it's not to say I didn't see any misogyny, but again, like as Ty said, I don't get a lot of either on my posts regularly, and I don't co-sign uh I don't co-sign misogyny. Like if you are a man who hates women, we ain't got nothing in common, blood. Um even certain stuff that sometimes, I get from other men, I'll call out. Like I'm like, yeah, this ain't it, bro. Nah, this ain't it. Like because some of the problem in all of the propaganda, right? And all of the gender war propaganda, the problem is that some of the more hateful things come out of truths that we've suffered dealing with the opposite sex. That's how they bait you with something that you could relate to. That kind of rhyme. That kind of rhyme. That wasn't intentional. But that's how they hook you, right? With a little bit of truth. But that's how all hustles work. That's how all the scams work. That's how all the pandering works. That's how it's done, right? That's how cults work. Is I give you a little bit of truth and then I turn up the notch to over exaggerate it, to appeal to your emotions, to appeal to your pain, to appeal to the things that you haven't resolved about your dealings with this other this other set of people, right? So I'm gonna play on that. I'm gonna play on the victimhood energy that you have towards those people, the pain that you still carry, and I'm gonna get you to go ahead and run along for the ride. I'm gonna get you to spew this hatred. I'm gonna get you to agree with it. I'm gonna get you to co-sign it to the point where we are legion, we are haters, we are misogynists. Because I reminded you of how many times women have used you for bread, how many times women have friend zoned you and then played in your face. And I know people like to say there's no such thing as a friend zone. I disagree with you. There'll be a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. I'm not doing it with you tonight. But yes, yes, yes. Especially the last part that you said. So many of us are hurt, and so folks are latching on. And that is really the real epidemic, the real pandemic of the world is that hurt people don't just hurt people, right? We all know this thing about hurt people, but hurt people who are unresolved in their hurt are that much easier to be drawn into it. And then they just spread like you eat, whether it's you saying something or you now, like I said, because of social media, you sharing what somebody else said, that maliciousness, that nastiness, like to the point where now you have it in your head. And again, I'm saying there's no way you buy into that stuff and it doesn't impact your life. It doesn't impact the way that you deal with the opposite sex. So for those of you who are in relationships and still co-signing with either misandry or misogyny, your partners are in danger. I'm sorry. Take this however you want. Your partners are in danger because you are one post away from hurting them. You are one post away from hurting them and making them feel very, very betrayed, and then adding to the hurt that's already out here. Because that post is going to either not warp your mind, but play on what's already warped in your mind. But more than likely than not, it's going to tug on those heartstrings that you haven't had healed, that you haven't processed. It's going to pull you in the direction of, yeah, well, bitches ain't shit. Ain't no way around it. If you have not got to the point where you could understand that everybody is an individual, and no matter how many things people have in common, an individual is an individual. And when you deal with a new individual, you have to give them their own chance to screw you over. Now, I'm not saying be a fool and get picked on or get used by everybody, but once you come into trying to treat everybody new like all the people who hurt you before, you know what I'm saying? Ah, I'm not gonna be kind to women because women have notoriously been unkind to me. I'm not gonna be kind to men because men have notoriously been unkind to me. My thing is, if that's the case, then stay to yourself though. If that's the case, then go find your tribe. I feel like that's probably the best thing that I could suggest, right? Because of course somebody's gonna sit here and try to tell you you need therapy. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Um, but at the very least, if you're not gonna work on making yourself better because you don't think there's something wrong with you, go find your tribe. But stick with your tribe and stop trying to mingle with the rest of the people who want to coexist with others. Stop trying to infiltrate us. Stop trying to get in the middle of what we got going on. There's women who know they need men, and there's men who know they need women, and there's men and women who know we need each other. And we are perfectly fine with that fact. For however inconvenient that may be, we perfectly fine with that fact. So if you don't feel that way and you're so anti your opposite sex, stay over there and y'all just be a hating ass unit because we can't get y'all to change our minds. Cool. But stay over there. Stop trying to mingle with the rest of us, man. Stop trying to mingle with the rest of us. Let us see you for what you are, be what you are, be who you are. But leave the rest of us who want to coexist alone. Stop dating people who want to coexist in a happy relationship with a woman or a man. No, date each other or don't date. And in the words of Kevin Samuels, buy a dog and die alone. Like, but please, like, the world is hard enough. It's dangerous enough. It's cold enough. We already got enough going on. You don't have to. Again, especially if you're not getting paid for it. And again, I'm not saying that, get paid for being wicked or get paid for misinformation and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't understand the practicality of people selling their soul for bread. I don't understand the practicality of people being in bad situations or like financially, and they find something that works for them financially, so they ride it all the way out. That's a thing, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not. But all I'm saying is, if you ever find yourself, if you under the sound of my voice right now, and you ever find yourself so hurt by the opposite sex that saying the worst things that can be said about the opposite sex sounds like a good idea to you, you're in a bad situation. You do need help. You do need change. You do need healing. But if you're not going to participate in any of that, then just go stick to your tribe and leave the rest of us alone to hold hands, kumbaya, and do the best we can with what it is that we have. And I'm gonna tie things up right there. Um, this wasn't the cheeriest of episodes. This wasn't the funniest of episodes. So hopefully y'all got something that y'all could take from it. Hopefully, if you know somebody who's a hater, send it to them. If you know somebody else who feels like I feel, and maybe one day it just overwhelmed them, let them know. Like, you could bounce back from it, but it's understandable to see that level of bitterness, nastiness, and hatred kind of overwhelm you as a person who's not naturally like that, or a person, like I said, who don't typically see that on a algorithm. So to see it like just piled on all day long, yeah, no, let them know like that's normal. It's okay, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You don't have to pick a side. If you as a female just all of a sudden you see all this misogyny all day long on your post, don't mean you have to jump to team misandry. If you a dude who see misandry all of a sudden taking over your feed, your algorithm, it doesn't mean you have to jump to team misogyny. Just get away from all of it. Unplug, log out, go touch grass. You know what I'm saying? Tap in with the people of the opposite sex who you actually enjoy as people. Your homegirl, your mama, your auntie, your brother, your pops, you know what I'm saying? Your pastor, that cool ass teacher that you still be emailing from back when you was in college. Whoever, you know what I'm saying? Reset yourself. Get back in touch with the real world. Men need women, women need men. We need each other. Point blank, period. That being said, thank you again. I hope y'all can take some from it. I hope it does something for y'all. I appreciate everybody who was active in the chat, everybody who has something to say. If you have not already, please subscribe to Life Be Life. If you enjoyed this episode, please actually take the time to hit the like. It helps, it matters. We all watch YouTube videos and don't hit like, even though we thoroughly enjoy the video. So let's make a concerted effort, not just for me, but the other creatives that you enjoy. Let's make sure to give them that like, because it counts, right? It helps get their content out to other people. And certainly, speaking of getting the content to other people, feel free to share it. There's different ways you can share it. You can share it through, direct message. You can share it on your page. You can go ahead and copy the link if you don't want to do all that, and just send it to who you want to send it to individually. All right. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the people who will do all of the things that I just mentioned. Excuse me. Anybody new here for the first time, I appreciate you just like I appreciate the people who show up every week. Once again, this is Nye, your favorite coach's favorite coach, your favorite freckled man, the big dog himself. Who, as I always say, in fact, first of all, gotta give my shout outs. Shout out to A.C.E, my brother, who he always be. Shout out to the sponsor of, and I gotta show my Two Kings Cup today. Two Kings 215 podcast and the Life Be Life and podcast. Keish with the Cake, the owner of Simply the Shake Catering, and Denver's mom, whose birthday is coming up soon, and Keish with the Cake birthday coming up soon as well in March. All right, so make sure to show her some love. We're gonna make that a big deal. I think we're gonna do game night again for my birthday this year, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think I'm gonna bring that back this year. Um, but we'll worry about that further on down the road. Again, as I always say, be smart, be respectful, be patient. That includes being patient with yourself. Be kind to as many people as you possibly can. I know some people make that impossible. Don't worry about it. But make sure every single day to take the time out to be kind to yourself, however that looks, whatever that means. As long as it ain't hurting anybody else, be kind to yourself because you cannot pour from an empty cup. This sticker didn't come with the thing. My son put it on there. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for your time. Turkey wings, ma'am. But after your B-day, shoot, she can make them turkey wings and we can celebrate turkey wings. We birthday wings, you heard me? We sure enough can. We sure enough can. Um, Shout out to Podcast Link Philly. Shout out to BTG. Shout out to GNT Sports. Shout out to Sports for You. Shout out to damn, who else I'm forgetting? Shout out to um shout out to my brothers from DC. Why am I blanking on their name right now? Yo Cuz Podcast. We gonna be on tomorrow night because we lit Fridays. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody who I collab with who's still out here doing their thing. Um, and again, so check out all those different drugs. I know you probably ain't gonna remember all of them, but whichever one you remember, including main character energy, go show them some love. Tell them Coach sent you. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Stay dangerous. I love y'all.